Inertia. What is this energy? It's a kind of retreat. It makes you want to escape. It's not about slowness, although it seems like it could be. It's really this kind of subtle, gnawing resignation that eats away at the very spark of creation. It's the soul's fatigue when the mind becomes ensnared by its addiction to future fantasies, to details, to outcomes, and imagined obstacles. It's the slow leak of life force that happens when action is divorced from presence. It can also be that feeling when we've overstayed our welcome in one energy for too long. It's where we're kind of half-heartedly living in our daily commitments and the mundane tasks that need to be taken care of in order to serve that kind of half-heartedness. It drains us. It drains us of our natural enthusiasm, our vitality. It can also be an addiction to blame or worry, where we over-identify ourselves with the future outcomes and potential satisfaction we might receive somewhere in the future. That place doesn't exist. All that exists is the present moment activity. And so all we can do to shift this energy of inertia is shift the present moment being. Since any activity that we engage in, any doing, must first come from who we are being. And those things need to match if we want to have coherence in life. I mean, it seems like a simple idea, right? A simple kind of stepping stone to larger dreams, like we want to be this way, so we be this way, and then we do or act from this way of being. It makes sense. And we'll talk about that and more in a second. But this feeling of inertia, it can also express itself as a lack of hope, a lack of joy, when we don't experience immediate results, or a level of improvement that seems like it should respond to the kind of actions that we're taking, right? That's all an attachment that we have to cause and effect. If I do this, then it should equal that. And if it doesn't, well, then we're endlessly connected to disappointment. We become hypervigilant. We'll scan everything that looks like it might be in the way of what outcomes we want to experience. But the truth is, the only thing that's ever in the way is us. The only thing you can change is self. And so if you want to know what the true medicine for inertia is, it's not to try harder. That implies doing more. That implies the idea that if I do things in the external environment, that will change things. It doesn't. That only deepens the entanglement. The real antidote is determination. You know, in the 9th gene key, the shadow is inertia. And the gift frequency of that gene key is determination. But determination is different than what we've learned. It's not that constant, like nose to the grindstone, just forcing and hustling and chasing. It's not the clenched, egoic version that most people think of. Determination is quiet, it's steady, it's elegant, it's simple. It's staying the course in who you are being. That is determination. That's also persistence. It's also perseverance in the higher frequency octaves of what those words really mean. It's the conscious decision to meet each moment, no matter how trivial, no matter how mundane it seems, with the intentionality and the reverence of who we are being. What kind of identity of self or version of self are we staying true to, no matter what arises in the outside world? That's determination. having constant honor and reverence for that. It's realizing that the universe doesn't respond to grandiosity, big, bold gestures, quantum leaps in what we're doing. That's just mental masturbation. Sorry, not sorry. The universe doesn't respond to what you're doing. It doesn't even respond to what you're wanting. It responds to integrity of attention. What version of you do you have your attention, awareness, and focus on? That's the important thing to shift first. That's what starts to move the needle of inertia towards determination. And once you do that, once you establish that being, you realize that, what's this outcome that I want? Some future satisfaction that I've built up in my mind, or I'm pedestal placing this thing that I think is going to give me that. As I talk about in all of my spaces, and my programs, and my teachings, and my services, my offers, the world can't give you anything. It's impossible. The world is not designed to give you anything. That feeling you want, that's your broadcast, that's your barometer. That's who you are being, what you are feeling, and that version of you that you're feeling into. The most minute, tiny acts done with care, actions from that level of being, that's the secret to shifting destiny, not the doings themselves. The doings have to match who you're being. They have to have coherence. Every time you wash a dish, if you can have some real presence, every time you reply to a simple message to someone, you do it with some heart instead of obligation. Every time you organize your workspace, make your bed, tend your body, brush your teeth, nourish your mind with something that feels sincere and nurturing and tender to you, you're generating a pulse of living energy. You see, determination, rightly understood, it builds pressure, the good kind of pressure, the kind of pressure that adds momentum. With each micro decision, each small intentional act to serve that level of being that you desire to be in, that thing you think it's going to give you, the thing that outside experience, external circumstance that you think is going to give you some level of being where you can finally feel this or access that. That's the feeling of being that you want to be in right now. And you take small intentional acts, make micro decisions from that level of you. And you keep doing it over and over. That's determination. Every time you do that, it adds a microgram of energy to the energetic ball you're rolling forward. And over time, these, at first, imperceptible layers of energy, they compound. They create dividends over time. They generate unstoppable momentum, not because you forced anything, but because you aligned with the deeper laws of life, with the flow, the currency of consciousness. Where inertia decays vitality and well-being, and it does if gone unchecked, determination restores it, moment by moment, and if you're in that energy of serving that higher ideal of you, as if you're already being that, you already are that, and you're determined to keep anchoring into and feeding that with your attention, your awareness, your focus, then that gift frequency of the ninth shadow of inertia, that's the alchemical art of choosing to value the present task as sacred, because it doesn't matter how mundane it is, it's feeding that energy that you prefer to be in. And just by shifting your awareness that way, it turns the mundane moments into power points of creation. You don't need grand plans. You need 1,000 tiny agreements between your heart, your hands, and the now. This is how fresh hope regenerates itself from within. Not because the world gave you something. You'll swindle yourself into thinking that, and then you'll swindle yourself into thinking the world can give you more stuff to make you feel this. It can't do that for you. It's not possible. The world doesn't have that capability. The world is a mirror, just reflecting back what's already inside you. Fantasizing about an end result is great. It can be wonderful if you're good at imagining things, but when you get too attached to that outcome, how it has to look, where it has to come from, when it has to show up, you're missing the bigger picture. You're missing all the good stuff in between, like falling in love with tending the soil, falling in love with feeding the energy, falling in love with learning how to feed the energy you prefer to be in with new and creative and innovative ways. Knowing how you plant a seed and keep feeding that seedling instead of just hoping for that future outcome. That's the real stuff of life. The journey. And if you can enjoy the journey and all the little mundane steps, all the minutiae getting you there, quote unquote, before the seedling has even broken through to sprout, if you can enjoy those moments, you can enjoy the journey, then you're in the gift frequency of determination. Then you're in the energy of creating. You understand you are creator. There is no other. You are the cause for everything you want to experience. That's determination. And being at cause means I'm in that energy I hope to be in now. I'm embodying that frequency now. And before you know it, you stop measuring progress by outcomes. You just understand that, like, I'm already that. I'm already in the energy I want to be. It's just a matter of time. Or, not even a matter of that. Before I learn to train my focus on, hey, it's already here, it's already shown up as confirmation in my outer world. Pretty soon, those things will collapse between, like, the expectancy time of something showing up. It'll feel like immediate manifestation because you're no longer in the chase. You're not chasing if you're being. And you can start measuring progress towards what you want by simply holding that integrity of what is true for you, your core essence, where life is simple and easy and elegant yet profound. Ironically, this devotion, this determination, it magnetizes greater results than any overthinking or anxious striving ever could. And I have a great talk on overthinking, and I'll link that with this video. And if this message spoke to you today, maybe it's the exact thing you needed to hear, let me know. I'd love to know in the comments. Just leave me a quick note or a heart. And consider liking this video, please. It helps me out. It helps other conscious creators like yourself easily find this content. And subscribe if you want to hear more messages that come from my soul straight to yours. Thank you so much for listening today. Lots of love and blessings to you. Bye for now.